This problem asks us which choice best states the main purpose of the text. So we're trying to find why is the author writing. So an important part of these types of problems is to see this blurb up above. What is this saying? The following text is from Maggie Pogue Johnson's 1910 poem, Poet of Our Race. In this poem, the speaker is addressing Paul Laurence Dunbar, a Black author. So this means that Pogue is basically writing a letter to this one author. So let's see what they have to say. So it starts with thou with stroke of mighty pen, hast told of joy and mirth. So it's important to kind of get an understanding, especially when it's a poem. This is basically praising the exceptional writing skills, praising great writing skills. Because it says, just with the stroke of a mighty pen, they've been able to tell of joy and mirth. Mirth is also kind of like amusement. It's kind of like amusement. Then this next section says, and read the hearts and souls of men as cradled from their birth. So this basically highlights the author's profound understanding of human nature. They really are able to understand the hearts and souls of men. So this next part says, the language of the flowers, thou hast read them all. This line suggests that the author has a deep connection to nature and a keen observation of its detail. So he has a connection to nature. The final two lines says, and even the little brook responded to thy call. This line further emphasizes the author's connection to nature and their ability to connect with the natural world. So it's very similar to this connection to nature idea. So we can basically say it's basically the same. So from this, I kind of get an idea that the author is like praising. He's saying, wow, you did such a good job at writing. Like, this seems like such, if I had this letter written to me, it would be like, wow, this is such a compliment. So let's look through the options. To which choice best states the main purpose of the text? A is to praise a certain writer for being especially perceptive regarding people and nature. I like that they use praise. So we'll circle this one and then we'll look back. To B is to establish that a certain writer has read extensively about a variety of topics. So they're saying they're establishing. This is not as common. Like, let's say I'm writing a letter to someone. I'm not trying to establish something that I'm not trying to establish you've read a ton of topics, because you already know that. You already know you've read a ton of topics. So we can mark that as wrong. And then C is to call attention to a certain writer's careful and elaborately detailed writing process. Again, this is to call attention to a certain writer's careful. This is like, that would be if their purpose was to tell an audience of a general audience like me. They were trying to tell a general audience like me that this author is so perceptive. But really, this speaker is just addressing Paul Laurence Dunbar. So this is not the correct answer. Then D is to recount fond memories of an afternoon spent in nature with a certain writer. There's really no evidence that these are memories. There's no evidence of this. So we can say this one's wrong. And based on process of elimination, we can say A is the correct answer. And A also had praise, which makes it a pretty convincing option.